This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets. The European Union is set to distribute €500 million, $550 million, to help farmers and allow them to grow crops on fallow land as part of measures to mitigate food price spikes and potential shortages resulting from the conflict in Ukraine. The European Commission proposals, published on Wednesday, also include assistance to Ukraine to help its farmers sow corn and sunflower seeds and tend to wheat. Ukraine is a top global player in sunflower oil, with over 50% of world trade, and holds significant shares for wheat, barley and maize, which has already led to surges in prices and concerns about shortages.
India's crude oil imports last month dropped to their lowest since October, government data showed on Wednesday, as soaring global prices made it costlier to procure the fossil fuel. February crude oil imports decreased by about 8.6% from the previous month and were 5.7% lower than pre-pandemic levels in the same month 2 years ago. The headline number being below February 2020 levels suggests that India's pandemic recovery still has quite some way to run, said OANDA senior analyst Jeffrey Haley, attributing the drop in imports from January to the sharp increase in global oil prices.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Russian and Kazakhstan oil exports via the Caspian Pipeline Consortium, CPC, from the Black Sea may fall by up to 1 million barrel per day, BPD, or 1% of global oil production, due to storm-damaged berths, a Russian official said on Tuesday. Pavel Sorokin, a deputy energy minister, said the second berth could also turn out to be damaged after initial information about one of the three being damaged by a storm. Sorokin said the maintenance could take up to 2 months, which could lead to exports falling by up to 1 million barrel of oil per day.
The European Union recommended on Wednesday that EU countries jointly buy gas to shore up supply, but warned that seeking to cap wholesale prices would cause problems and undermine efforts to shift to green energy. The European Commission will unveil a detailed plan in May to quit Russian fossil fuels by 2027, in response to the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, which supplies 40% of EU gas. Meanwhile, countries are scrambling for ways to quickly limit soaring energy bills and find alternative supplies in case Russian flows are disrupted. Brussels on Wednesday proposed a range of options to do this, which EU leaders will discuss at a summit on March 24 to 25.
Next, we have the top news in metal markets.
Global crude steel production in February fell 5.7% from a year earlier to 142.7 million tons, World Steel Association data showed on Tuesday. Crude steel output from China, the world's top producer and consumer of the metal, dropped 10% to 75 million tons in February, the data showed.
Gold prices gained on Wednesday as investors looked to shield against soaring inflation and uncertainty caused by events in Ukraine, with elevated U.S. bonds yields capping gains in non-interest-bearing metal. Spot gold was up 0.3% at $1,927.42 per ounce by 12:46 GMT. U.S. gold futures rose 0.2% to $1,926. The market seems to be holding quite well since its sharp correction lower, with support coming from ongoing geopolitical uncertainty and good physical demand, independent analyst Ross Norman said. Gold is considered a safe store of value during times of rising inflation and geopolitical uncertainty. We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector. Sky-high fertilizer prices have farmers worldwide scaling back its use and reducing the amount of land they're planting. Fallout from the Ukraine-Russia conflict that has some agricultural industry veterans warning of food shortages. Western sanctions on Russia, a major exporter of potash, ammonia, urea and other soil nutrients, have disrupted shipments of those key inputs around the globe. Fertilizer is key to keeping corn, soy, rice and wheat yields high. Growers are scrambling to adjust. The pivot can be seen in agricultural powerhouse Brazil, where some farmers are applying less fertilizer to their corn, and some federal legislators are pushing to open protected indigenous lands for the mining of potash.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.